this is your starring moment. This is my dog, Maisie. I thought I'd introduce her to Project MX-5. Good job. Phil and Maisie, they're going to have a wonderful relationship. Meanwhile, we are going to disassemble everything that we did last week because we did it wrong. And then radiator in, alternator in, and then we just start it up, right? And then drive off into the sunset together, like Thelma and Louise.
Pretty much. Where's
Cagney
the keys?
and Lacey.
Who's Cagney and Lacey?
Okay, enough talking, let's crack on.
Now we have a subframe, we can probably wrap this around it. This is why it pays to read instructions. We didn't read this part of the instructions. There's 2 washers that fit over the clutch fork fulcrum bolt, which is unfortunately inside the clutch bell housing. And for that, we have to take everything out again and then take it apart and then put the 2 washers in and then assemble it and then put everything back into the car again.
So, here goes.
What we're going to do is pull this fork off and pull that out. And as you can see here, it pivots on that. So we're going to extend that forward. And so we're putting 2 washers between there and this point on the gearbox housing.
Then it's time to reassemble and torque everything to spec.
Done. Gearbox on, take 2.
So now it's time for this week's quick sponsor shout out. As you know, we wouldn't be able to afford build projects like this without sponsors, so please give a thumbs up to this week's sponsor, World of Warships, for allowing me to buy this Rocketeer V6 kit. World of Warships is a free-to-play action and strategy game. You command a naval fleet with some of the most iconic war vessels in history. As you play, you unlock new ships and battle 7 million other players in super detailed environments. Click the link in the description below and claim your special Car Throttle bonus starter pack, which includes 250 doubloons, 1 million credits, a premium HMS Campbelltown ship, 1 port slot, and 3 days premium time. And now, let's get back to the build.
On the original car, it's got 1 pulley coming off the crank, and this pulley now operates the alternator. In the kit, you get a separate pulley, which operates the pass pump. So all you need to do is pull the main bolt out, and that should be good to go now.
With the gearbox now as it should be as per instructions, we start by bolting the alternator onto the V6. Then the water pump is attached with this fancy Rocketeer bracket.
It's hot. Yeah, boy! That really irritates Gareth.
It doesn't even mean anything. Why do people say it? No.
Yeah, boy!
I'm not saying it.
We are now putting on the belts. It's going all right. It's going all right. We've actually been reading the instructions this time, which helps.
We have. They do help. So we're going to put the new loom on, which is this one that fits into the Rocketeer ECU. What Alex is doing now is the whole of this clutch system, or the clutch piping, is going to be replaced by a braided line that comes straight out of the master cylinder here, and it will run down the bottom of the car and into the slave cylinder. We've been given a riv nut set, but we don't actually have a riv nut puller, so we're going to use rivets.
And those rivets will be used to attach the ECU to the bulkhead. But before that, it's time to get the drill out. After making Phil more holy than before, the ME-442R is riveted in place. New ECU mounted in its new home, we could now get the engine back into Phil. Cue the time lapse. Subframe bolted up and we are back to where we started.
Done.
With the V6 in place, the next step is connecting the loom to the ECU before working on Phil's old hardware.
Is that the right way around?
So just revisiting the clutch, Alex is going to gently pull that off the hard line in a second. So that's the slave cylinder, and that pushes the release bearing in via a sort of pivoting mechanism that you saw earlier on the end of the gearbox. And this is the new braided line. So that fits into this connection just here. So the rest of the hydraulic unit that pushes in that clutch lever fits onto these two bolts here.
Meanwhile, underneath the car,
The subframe's in the way.
You are kidding me.
Ah, you... Oh! Got the meat just in between there. So my idea of putting it in through the top actually worked this time. Nah, God, no one's going to believe that, Ethan. I'm going to make sure that's edited out.
with the starter motor in, it's on to the next step.
Radiator's going in. It looks very good. LL Motorsport radiator.
Heat stroke now hitting me pretty hard. I was strangely confident, despite us missing a few things to complete the job.
Yeah, we're going to get the car started today. 100%. I'll go shopping quickly.
Okay.
So as the day moves forward, I leave Gareth with the difficult task of sorting out all the wiring, leaving me to jump into the GTI to get some hosing, which, as you can see, Gareth was very happy about.
Throttle body onto plenum and blanking plate. We took the idle control valve off because we don't need it on here. There's one shared by both, and that's what Alex is going shopping for, is the vacuum lines to share the pressure equally between these two.
With the wiring finished, Gareth attaches the throttle bodies to the carbon fibre plenums before mounting those to the engine. Suitably cooled down, it's now time to turn the attention to the throttle cable.
As said, I was 100% confident that we're going to get Phil started today. And we're very nearly there, right? Right.
With darkness approaching, we add the finishing touches to Phil's new Rocketeer V6 engine, including all the pipework and electronics.
This is far beyond my expertise. I know how to break things.
Over-tighten things.
Over-tighten things.
That's your forte.
Do you have any idea what exactly you're doing?
Yeah, he's playing with the octopus.
That's it. I think that's it.
No, it can't be.
No, it is. Oh, apart from oil
Yeah, and water.
and water. Do you know what the capacity is of this in terms of oil?
Large.
Oh my god.
Phil then gets dropped and filled with fluid before crunch time.
Yeah. I think we need to try and start this up. Should we do that? Let's do that.
I'm pumped, full of enthusiasm. I think it's time to get this started. I am Alex Kirsten, and we're gonna start this car.
Hey, my name is Gareth, and I'm tired, and I'm hungry, and I want to go home.
Now, before we get to the really good stuff, I have an awesome announcement to make. Remember in last week's Project MX-5 episode when I said,
BMW over there, BMW 330 diesel. Really like that. Wonder how much power you could get out of one of those.
well, here is the new track project car. It's an E46 330 diesel touring with a 6-speed manual gearbox. The aim is to get the car around a track faster than an E92 M3, and as you can see, there's plenty of work to do. Before that though, and as is tradition on Car Throttle, I want you guys to suggest some names for this epic diesel wagon. So let me know in the comments below, and in next week's episode of Project MX-5 we'll run a poll with the most popular choices. Speaking of Project MX-5, let's get back to it.
Everything should be plumbed in. Electrics, Gareth has done loads of stuff. I don't understand anything with what Gareth's been doing the last 2 hours.
I just shoved wires into places that it told me to shove wires, so
Yeah.
we've done that.
I'm really nervous, actually. If this works, I'm gonna lose my little mind. It sounded really good though already, didn't it?
But there's a problem.
There's no fuel going to it.
Nearly, Phil. Nearly. You got this. Well, Gareth's got this.
With the skies now dark and my neighbours heading to bed, things were not looking good, with both Gareth and I struggling to find the cause of Phil's non-start issue.
I don't think the ECU's getting any power. I'm sure the fuel pump's fine. It's been working fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering if the ECU's getting any power.
Cue Gareth's moment of brilliance.
Unless you want to run a cable all the way to the battery with a positive on it. And then I'll just cut this off and we can just stick it together. Do you have a long piece of wire?
I have an extension lead.
What do you want to do?
I'd love to get it started.
I don't know if it's going to happen. I need a lead. Some sort of long wire.
So, RIP extension lead it is.
This is
Resorted to using my teeth. I'm impatient.
this is driveway engineering at its finest.
So kids, don't try this at home.
Right, are we going to do this?
Yeah.
Right. Let's power to the ECU.
Oh, that sounds good.
Pump's working.
That sounds
Water
good.
pump's working.
Yeah.
Right, let's do this. Go, 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 go.
Oh my god. Please.
Oh, wait. I think there's a lot of air in the fuel line, so. Yes. Are you?
No, I'm not doing anything. It's running! It's running! Oh my god! Yes, that's amazing! The V6 is running, people!
That is.
You're a
That's
genius!
made my evening.
You're an absolute
Absolutely
genius!
made my evening.
That's a, look! my extension lead. Now this is by no means the finished product, but I started today saying we had to get the engine running. The engine is running.
That sounds filthy, absolutely
It sounds
filthy.
really dirty, but really good dirty.
It's really cool.
Oh my goodness.
It sounds like those big American V8s.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
With a few tweaks to the fuel pressure regulator, the V6 was running more sweetly. So the only way to celebrate was giving the engine a few revs. Apologies again to my neighbours.
That is Phil.
It's so loud. Yeah, I just upped the fuel pressure.
Cool. I cannot believe I'm saying this. The V6 works. I knew the V6 works,
And
but
it works amazingly well. It doesn't have the full exhaust system on, but it sounds.
it sounds
Incredible.
nuts. It sounds
Incredible.
mental. And yeah, I literally don't know how you do that. How you pluck these ideas out of your hair to bastardize my extension lead to get the ECU running. You did it. It works. I wanted this video to end with the engine working,
I think the
and you did that.
determination of getting this thing working has pushed us through.
Yeah.
I'm broken.
Yeah,
I need sleep.
you do need sleep. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. As ever, you can watch the rest of the MX-5 series by clicking on this link. You can subscribe to Car Throttle here. And if you want to check out the Car Throttle shop for loads of merch and goodies, then here is the link. Where was the shop link? It was down there, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry. Anyway, see you next time.